Now to Washington, where Texas House Democrats remain after leaving a special session in Austin. Today marks day 8 since they left for our nation's capital. Now they left the state to avoid passing voting legislation.
Now, despite 5 of the members testing positive for COVID, today they met with voting advocates from all across the country. Our Janelle Bluta in Washington, D.C. tonight.
And Janelle, how did those meetings go today?
Well, Reka, because of those COVID cases, Texas Democrats made all of their meetings today virtual, saying it's not stopping them from getting their message heard. Logging on from their hotel rooms, Texas Democrats jumped on a virtual roundtable today with various activists and labor groups like SEIU Texas.
We will fight every day to protect the freedom to vote.
And Mi Familia Vota.
And we're here to stand together, we're here to fight, and we're here to move forward in a better direction for our democracy.
They were even joined in the conversation.
You have captured the soul of the country with what you are doing right now.
By American labor leader and civil rights activist Dolores Huerta.
We have such a great story to tell people, but sometimes we have to do it in their homes to make them understand how important it is that they make the commitment that they're going to get up and they're going to help keep democracy alive.
Today's conversation is just the first of several happening this week. House Democrats will also be talking to state leaders and election experts across the country to share ideas and best practices to move forward. In the meantime, they hope Congress will soon make a move on federal voting legislation to help convince them. Democrats say they will continue to meet with any lawmaker who agrees to.
We are on borrowed time. This act of a quorum break is significant, but what it is doing is buying time for Congress to act, but we need it now.
But only 7 days in D.C., Democrats still have about 3 more weeks until that special session ends in Austin. But Governor Abbott says he will continue calling special sessions as long as he has to. In the meantime, Republicans say the bills they're trying to pass only protect voting and make it harder to cheat. House Democrats are estimating this trip will cost them about $1.5 million through hotels, transportation, and food. That's money they say they're confident they will raise, mostly through fundraising. Reka?
They've been at it for more than a week. Janelle Bluta live in Washington, D.C. this evening. Thank you so much.